Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I am Miss Preppy Pearl, and if you're a returner, thank you so much for tuning in. This video is kind of an extension from my last video, so if you haven't watched it, go back and watch that previous video. But I'm going to be talking about roles in health informatics that you may or may not be familiar with. So let's go ahead and get into it. So one of the first roles I'm going to mention, and I think a lot of you already know what it is, but it's an analyst. Just like the name implies, analysts, they analyze data and different trends in order to help facilitate decision making in a business. And specifically in the health informatics field, I feel like this is a great entry point, especially if you don't really have experience, which you do have experience, because if you're in this field already, or if you already have some type of study, you've done it in your coursework or volunteer work or co-op work, any type of work, you've already kind of done it. So this is a great entry point, and once you become an analyst, you can kind of climb the ladder from there. So I wanted to mention that, even though I know it is a very typical role, it's something I do encourage for entry-level professionals. Another one that's great for entry-level professionals is a data research associate. You should look in the health informatics field or healthcare space in general for this role specifically. I didn't know this role until I got this role. I didn't know that there was anything like a data research associate. I only knew about research associate, researcher. I didn't know there was a data side to things. So that is another great entry, and I think that's very entry level. So if you're looking for roles in the health informatics field and you're afraid that you don't have experience, a data research associate is a good role to consider. And again, you're dealing with data, and you're also in between research as well. So you're collecting data, analyzing data, and then you're also doing the more research side. So that might involve maybe doing systematic reviews, reviewing literature, and things like that. So that's another role that I think is great for entry level. So now I'm going to go into two roles that I think a lot of people do not know about that they can do if you're already in the health informatics field. And again, I didn't come to know this until I was a bit later in my career, or I'm still early in my career, but you know, I have more experience. One is a process improvement specialist, or any type of process improvement professional. A lot of the things that health informatics, or at least with my program that they taught us, you definitely can be a process improvement specialist. The description is in the role. So process improvement. So they basically improve processes, and specifically in healthcare. Again, look up healthcare process improvement specialist or professional, and you literally just work with data. You might do observations, you might do a bunch of things in order to improve the processes in an organization. And this can also delve into the technology space as well. You might see that a certain technology is not optimized the best, or it's not working efficiently for end users, and you could literally help improve the process. That's a role that I didn't know about, that a lot of people don't really search, but it's something that you should consider if you're in the health informatics field. Another role that's kind of similar but different is a change management. So change management specialists or professional, they also still delve into the data side and the technology side, but their prime responsibility is to ensure the smooth transition or implementation of a technology in an organization. So an example of this is maybe if a healthcare organization is trying to implement a telemedicine service into their organization. So this would involve, okay, they've put this tool, but there's a process. So this change management professional, they go through the process of ensuring that, one, this technology meets the expectations, and then two, everybody is onboarded efficiently, and then three, just maintaining that the whole implementation process just goes smoothly and transitions smoothly. And so a good bit of examples of that is, so they might also be involved in user training, they also might be involved in initial stakeholder engagement. And so there's a list of things in change management that's really great. Of course, with this role specifically, you do have to have a little bit of experience, but again, I never say never. If you already have an experience of implementing some form of technology, or maybe you are a supporting member in a change management process, that's experience, and it's very much valuable, especially in the health informatics space. Especially when you think about how much technology is growing and being incorporated in healthcare. Yeah, change management is a great role if you're considering it. Another role that you might want to also consider is maybe it's like a IT implementation specialist. So they deal more so on the back end, I would say, of things, of implementing healthcare related technologies. So a good example of this is, say you are kind of like a EHR specialist. If you think about the big EHR systems in the United States, think about those type of roles, and you could get into that as well. And those are good. The thing with being an EHR specialist is a lot of these EHR systems, you have to get the training and certification before you can fully delve into this. So consider that in your role searching and just make sure that you have the credentials. And sometimes you'll be lucky, you might find a role that they don't require, they're going to train you on the spot, or they're going to allow you to have the training within a year of being hired. Other roles you can also consider in the health informatics space is data scientist, a clinical informatics specialist, clinical informatics manager. So another big one is consultant. If you are into consulting, there are a lot of specialized health informatics consulting, and this is really important in today's time because some organizations, they don't want to hire someone full time. They just want someone who can implement it and then they can maintain themselves. So they will reach out to consulting agencies in order to get those skills. So you might want to look into some of your consulting organizations and look at healthcare consultant, health informatics consultant. So that's another role that you may want to consider, especially if you are interested in consulting, if you think that you work best in that type of role. So yeah, just consider that as well. The last role I wanted to discuss is a health informaticist, and I feel like a health informaticist, they kind of encompass all of the roles that I've just mentioned to you. So they do kind of take on the wheel of looking at the data, analyzing the data, trending the data, and then seeing how the data can be used to improve processes, improve workflows, and this is all in the healthcare space. I will also say when it comes to health informaticists, you might also see maybe healthcare project manager or something of that sort. They're used interchangeably because, again, you kind of use both of those skills in both of the roles. And so if you see healthcare project manager, you might also be a good fit for a health informaticist. So yeah, those are just a few that I can think of. I know this video was very short, but I only wanted to share roles that I think were kind of different and also great for entry-level positions. And again, you don't have to stick with just these. There's so many other roles that you can think of. So honestly, I would recommend that you just go search on Google, hey, what can a health informatics professional do? What type of roles are in health informatics? And then you can just go from there. So just consider that when you are considering roles in health informatics. I personally, like I keep saying, I love health informatics in general. I pivoted into this role because I absolutely love it, and I love everything that I'm doing because I get to impact patients' lives. Even though it is indirectly, it still very much is helping patients. And so that is one thing I will share with every one of you who are considering a role in health informatics. Please don't get into it for the money. Think about the people that will be impacted by what you're doing. I always say this, but I don't feel like anyone who doesn't have a true passion for healthcare should be in healthcare. And that's actually something I might discuss later in another video. But yeah, those are just some of the roles that I could think of that were new to me or I didn't know about during my initial introduction to health informatics, and so I wanted to share it with you guys. But if you have any other roles that you know of in health informatics, please share in the comments. I would love to know. I'm always searching and wanting to learn something new. But in the meantime, I just want to say thank you for watching my video. I know it was very short, but I didn't want to ramble too much. I just want to kind of list it out to you guys, and then you guys go and do your own research on it or search for those type of roles. But again, I just want to say thank you so much for watching, and I wish you the best in your job search. Again, if you have any questions, please let me know. I am really passionate about helping people, especially in this field, as much as I possibly can. I don't know everything, but I will try my best. So anyways, I'm done rambling. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.